This is for the equipment list, part 2, where we're going to go ahead and build a chart for the information. Okay, so what you guys are going to do is you're going to go into your Google Drive right here, and you're going to click on your Computer 8 folder, and you want to find your equipment list. Remember, it's your first name and then equipment list, so mine's right here. Okay, so I'm going to double click on it here, and I have my big equipment list up here. Okay, so I have all the information here, and it doesn't quite all fit on the screen. Alright, so what I'm going to do is if I go up to view here, okay, and it says full screen, I'm going to zoom. I have it at 100%. I'm going to go down to 90%, and now I can see everything on here. Okay, so I can see what column has what. Alright, and what I want to do is I want to graph some of this information. Okay, so I want to graph some of it, but I don't want to graph every bit of it, so I got to rearrange some of these columns. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I like the item number. It's by item number here. Okay, so I like that there, and I want to know what the price is. So if I click on the E here, and then if I hover just right, you see how it's a hand? If I click and hold down, I can go over here and let go, and now the price is in column B. And it doesn't affect any of the formulas that we made over here either. So I'm going to highlight right here from A to B and go down. Alright, and I'm going to get right here, those amounts. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I click on Insert, and I go down to Chart. And this chart comes up. Now this has changed since last year, so that's why I'm doing a video, so you can watch this and see how it works. So I'm going to hit dismiss here. Okay, so here's the first chart that comes up here. It's a column chart. So I'm going to go over here and look, and I can try a line chart. Like here's each item priced throughout the area, and here's what it looks on a line. I can try 2 columns, which just does 1 column because we're just looking at one piece of information. Okay, I can go down some and try a pie chart, but that doesn't really show it very nicely. I think the best one in my mind is probably the column chart right here. Okay, so you can pick the column chart, and it tells you, if you hover on each one, you see how it tells you. So we got a column chart here. Okay, now I'm going to go down here. Here's the item number on the x-axis. So if I want to remove the label or add the label, I can add it. Okay, and it tells me what data, or whoops, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Never mind, cancel that out. Okay, what we need to do then now is go to Customize right up here, and we can look at chart style. Alright, so the background color, change it to a color that you like. I'm going to try orange right there. And the font, which means the words here, change it to a font you like. I'm going to do Verdana. Alright, what does maximize do? Okay, just makes it bigger. I really don't like that, so I'm going to pull it back out. Plot null values, doesn't do anything here. Okay, so let's go to the chart and access titles right here. So chart titles selected. So I'm going to call this price per item. Notice how I capitalize the P, capitalize the P and the I. And notice how it populated up here for me, price per item. So I'm going to change that to Tahoma, and the font, I'm going to make it 16. That's too small. Let's go bigger. Let's go 24. So it's pretty big up there. Okay, I'm going to bold it. Okay, and it's a black color. I'm going to go with dark blue up there. Okay, so you can make these kind of changes. Now the series, what's that saying is that's this. You see how it's in blue? I'm going to change it to red so it stands out more. That's the series. Okay. Whoops, I forgot one thing. I'm going to go back to chart and access titles. You see how it says chart title here? I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go to the horizontal axis. So that's down here. Okay, so I'm going to call this items. You see how that populated down there? I'm going to bold it. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go with dark blue again because that looks nice. Okay, now if I change this to the horizontal axis title and do the vertical, that's this side. So I'm going to put price over here. Same thing, I'm going to bold it and put it at blue. So I have that in there for us, the price, okay? So legend, with the legend saying the position it's on the right, I can do the legend on the bottom if I want down here. I can do it on the top, which I kind of like it on the top. I'm going to look at the left, and I don't like that. I'm going to do the top again. That's where I like it. It's up to you guys, though, okay? I'm going to move the color to that bright blue again, so it's got the blues here, and it's got the red here, so it kind of distinguishes it. And I'm going to bold it. Alright, so that's the legend. The horizontal axis, if I bold it, you see how I bolds everything down there? Okay. The slants, they're on an auto slant. If I want them at 30 degrees, you see how they slant differently. If I want to change it to 0, they're like that, okay. If I want to go 90 degrees, they're perfectly up and down, like that. It's up to you, okay. The vertical axis, same thing. I'm going to bold that so it looks better, so you can see it, distinguishes it out more. You can do a minimum value and a maximum value, okay? So do you see how it starts at almost 0 here, but it goes all the way up to 60? So my minimum value is going to be 0, but I'm going to cut it off at 75 for a max, and it looks like I could maybe cut it off at 72. Well, let's do 75. So it kind of bunches it up. You see how it changes the data here? So you can see these just a little bit better, not much, okay? And then grid lines, we're not going to worry too much about that. So now we have our chart, okay? So we're going to X out right here. If we click on the chart right here, you see these 3 dots that come up? We're going to click on them and go move to own sheet. Now it's on a different sheet here, okay? And I'm going to expand this down so you guys can see better on the screen here. So now it's on its own sheet. So sheet 1 is this equipment list. So we're going to go ahead and double click on it so it turns blue. And we'll do equipment, inventory. And then I'm going to double click on chart 1 and I'm going to call it price per item. And I'm going to hit enter. Now you see that there, I got these 2 lists here, okay? So it's all set up for us. Now I'm going to go back to the equipment inventory. And I'm going to go back up here to the top. So we did the item, we did the price. So now I'm going to move this back. So remember, I click on the B, there's a hand that shows up, and I'm going to move it back over here to the E column again. So it's out of the way. Now this time what I'm going to do is I want to take a look at the inventory, okay? So I'm going to click on the H here and move that over. But I also want to look at the value of the inventory at the end of the month. So I'm going to click on that and move that over, okay? And I'm going to highlight these 3 columns. And I'm going to go ahead and do insert and chart, okay? So what does it look like this time? It's recommending a column chart, so it has 2 columns here for us, okay? So let's see, what does 2 lines look like? Here's 2 line graphs, alright? Let's see what a pie chart looks like. Ooh, that's not good at all, so we'll leave that. We can do 2 sideways column charts and look at it like this. I think what I'm going to do, like here's a shaded one. I think these 2 lines probably look the best, to be honest with you. So I'm going to do that. Okay? So there's the lines, alright? So now I'm going to go to customize again. So the chart style, I'm going to pick a background color this time. Nah, that doesn't look very good. So you see how you can just kind of nose around and change it to make it the way you want. I'm going to do wide this time, see what that looks like. Okay. Chart title. So my chart title is going to be, let's see, month end inventory, because that's what we're looking at here, okay, is a month end inventory. Alright. Now I'm going to change the chart title and go to the horizontal axis. It's still the items. Oh, there we go. Items, okay. I like the wide. I like the bold. I like the black on this time, so I'm going to leave it black. Then I'm going to go to the vertical axis title, and that's still, this time it's money and it's an amount of items, so I'm just going to put amount there, okay, so it's titled. The series, okay, So what you can do with the line thickness is you can change it and make it thicker. I'm going to go up to 4px. Point shape. We'll leave it at circle there. So we'll do circle. So each of the points has a circle on top of them. Okay. Now, the legend here, it's up there again. I'm going to try the bottom this time. Well, that ain't the right button. Position, there we go, the bottom. I'm going to try it down there this time, just to have it. Okay, so you can have the full area here. It looks better to me. Alright, the horizontal axis, the vertical axis. So this is what gives us our min and our max. So we definitely want 0. But this one, it doesn't go up much past 1500. Barely. So I'm going to do 1500. So that way it spaces this out more and you can see this. And notice how you can hover on each one and it tells you an amount. That's kind of the nice part about using that. So now, once again, I'm going to X out here. Click on the chart up here so those 3 dots come in. Move to own sheet. And now I'm going to name this month end inventory. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. So now, go back up here for you. This is what you should have. You should have 3 tabs. Okay. I guess I should have moved that back down for you. So you should have a price per item, a month end. So you got 2 charts here, and then you got your inventory. Now, if you notice, when I made some of the stuff and I readjusted some of it, okay, did you see how it made some changes here as I readjusted the columns? So you got to go back and look at some of that and make sure that it looks right, okay? This does look right. It's not the end of the world like this. But if you ever wanted to fix that, you'd want to copy the chart so that way when you're editing over here and moving these columns, it doesn't mess it up. So I hope that helps. Go ahead and turn it in.